Let's have a look at another budget guitar that this one comes in a kit. We're just going to look at the guitar in this video. We'll do another video where we dissect the kit and all the things that are in it that make it a little bit more beginner friendly than some similar guitars. But we're going to start with on the RST 150, the company RVONE. I don't know if that's RV1, RVONE, or if I'm pronouncing it completely wrong, but RST-150 is the model. And you may notice it looks a little similar to another guitar that we have taken a look at recently, in that we have a matte finish on an ash body that has not been grain filled. So you can see the grain showing through on this kind of satin matte finish, and it looks really nice. I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So let's start at the top. We're going to work our way down and talk about features and things as we go. All right. So on the headstock, we have 6 sealed unbranded cast tuners. We have 2 of the little bent steel string trees. Those provide that kind of downward tension on the nuts so you don't get it buzzing too much. That little port down there is where you use the included Allen wrench to adjust the truss rod, which I have not needed to do yet on this guitar. So look at the wood that you see down here. Maple is the lighter colored wood in the neck. Then we'll see that when we get to the back of the neck. This darker colored wood is what they call HPL. That's high pressure laminate. And HPL can be made of a variety of things. It can be paper that's pressed together. It can be wood that's pressed together. But it is impregnated with a resin, which makes it more moisture and temperature resistant and potentially more durable and more maintenance free, I think. I know people who don't like HPL fretboards. I'm not one of those people. I actually kind of like them. I think they feel pretty good, or can feel pretty good, and they require less maintenance than a wood fretboard, you know, like a gloss or like a rosewood or jatoba or something. Okay, moving on. Steel frets. You can see here on the edge that I did run my sanding sponge up and down the edge, which is getting to be kind of standard practice with these budget guitars. Unless they come with rounded over frets, I often need to go up and down on each of the edges just to knock the little sharp bits back. White marker dots here in the front, and then on the side, little tiny white marker dots there. As we come down, we have a traditional Stratocaster body shape, pickup, and control layout with one exception. A typical Stratocaster is going to be 3 single coil pickups. Here we have a single, and a humbucker. They typically call it an HSS layout. We have a 6-point traditional type tremolo with the bridge is actually 6 independent cast steel saddles. I did not take the whammy bar, the tremolo arm, out yet. It's going to look similar to the one that you see over here in that it'll screw into that hole. It's in the bag. I just haven't gotten it out and used that yet. Here is your output jack, and I have my little Flatsense wireless transmitter in there. We have a volume that works no matter which setting you're in with the switch, and then 2 tones that have separate uses for these 2 pickups. A 5-way selector, so this is going to give you, let me see if I can get this right on the first try. All the way up gives you the neck pickup. Go down 1 notch and you get these 2. Go down 1 more, the middle position, you get the middle pickup. Go down 1 more, now you get these 2. And then you go down 1 more and now you get just the bridge pickup. So we have a 3-ply pick guard here. It's black in back, white in the middle, and then black on the top. And you can see I didn't even take the plastic off, the little protective film that's on here. That's why you see wrinkles, just because I haven't pulled that off yet. Here is the bottom strap button where you hook up your guitar strap. The top button is up here, and you'll see that little bit of plastic down under there to protect the wood. It's kind of a nice touch. Being a Stratocaster, it has the kind of comfort carve here, and it's very well rounded on the edges. Sometimes Strats can be a little blocky on the edge. I really like how they've rounded this one over. So on the front, very traditional in terms of Stratocaster appointments, with the exception that we have a humbucker instead of 3 single coil pickups. So this is a shallow C neck, and that's how it's advertised, and that's what it feels like to me as well. It's a C shape. It doesn't flatten out in the back to a D. It's a C shape, and it is a little on the thin and fast side. Here, the back side of those tuners. A tip for you when you're dealing with budget guitars, even sometimes more expensive guitars, if they're using kind of generic tuners, you will often benefit by just barely snugging up the little screws in here. That pulls the shaft that's inside here. You can see the back side of that shaft right here. It sucks it in a little bit and takes the slop out of those gears. So that can help make your tuners feel better. And I was able to tighten probably 3 or 4 out of these 6. The rest of them were already good. It's a clear maple neck with a satin kind of finish. It's not real slick, it's not real rough. It almost feels like there's nothing on it. So it's that thin of a finish. It is a bolt-on neck. Here is the reinforcement plate, and you can see it's got the little plastic behind it so it doesn't, you know, sink into the wood too much here. I call this the Fat Boy cut or the comfort carve on the side. This is what's going to go up against your side when you're playing. Obviously, as a double cut Stratocaster shape, you have really good access to get into those upper frets. This is the tremolo cavity cover. If you take these 6 screws out, you can access the claw where you adjust the tension of the 3 springs that hold the trem block, or we have these 6 holes here where when you change the strings you can push them out and push the new ones in through those holes, make it a little easier so you don't have to take these screws out and take the plate off of the back. So there is your full tour of the RST 150 from RVONE, however we choose to pronounce that. That's all the specs. How does it play? It plays pretty good. Let's see, I tuned it, stretched the strings. I took the sanding block to the sides to knock down they weren't super sharp edges, but just to round them over a little bit. And I played it for a while, and it sounded pretty good. I was happy with how it sounded. I have not had to adjust the saddles down here, and I haven't attempted to adjust the intonation yet. I haven't even checked it. Usually I wait a week or so after a guitar comes into the studio so it can adjust to the temperature and humidity here where I'm located before I make all of the setup adjustments. So in a week or 2 I'll go in and finish that up, but it doesn't sound like it's out of intonation. And I like that these saddles aren't all the way up. Oftentimes saddles are shipped way up in the air so that you don't get any fret buzz, but it makes for a super high action. Because this is part of a beginner guitar kit, a super high action is bad because it makes it really hard to play, and they're selling it to beginners. So I love that they ship this with the action at a reasonable level. There was very little neck relief. The neck's pretty flat. I'm not getting any buzzing or high frets, and the saddles are down at a reasonable level. So overall, all of this speaks well for this guitar. I think that if I had received this as a beginner trying to learn how to play, this would put me on the right path to be successful. Please subscribe and check out our Guitar Deals group on Facebook. The link's in the bio.